Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm. I'm your host, Kristen, also known as Voolenvine on. Hey everyone, and welcome to YarnGasm, episode 51. I'm your host, Kristen, also known as Voolenvine on Ravelry. That's Voolenvine. If you would like to get in touch, I'm Voolenvine on Twitter as well, or you can email me at voolenvine@gmail.com. And everything that I mentioned in the show, you can find over on my blog at voolenvine.com, show notes and everything. So yeah, if you are a new listener slash viewer, welcome. I hope you enjoy the show. And if you are returning listener slash watcher, lurker, whatever have you, welcome back. Yeah, so let's get on with the show. As you can see, I'm working with a new camera. Upgrade! Yay! Who doesn't love an upgrade? Anyway, yeah, if you were watching my other video, as you know, I'm doing a lot more video podcasts because I love showing you what I'm working on, and they're fun to do and a lot less time consuming. I don't have to worry about editing as much as I do in GarageBand as I do with QuickTime, so there you go. And I know some of you prefer the audio, so what I've been trying to do is also upload an audio version of the video podcast. So those of you who are already subscribing to the audio version, you don't have to worry about anything because the audio will automatically update in your iTunes feed, no problem. I'm going to try and explain everything that I'm showing you, so you won't be missing out on anything. Yeah, so everybody wins. And for the video, if you're into the video, just go to blip.tv and search Voolenvine or YarnGasm, and I should pop up. So, yay! As for other housekeeping notes, Cheersky, hi, got in touch with me on Ravelry and made me aware of something that I should have been aware of from the get-go. Usually when I post a link to the show notes, I don't post to the specific post with that, with the corresponding blog post to the corresponding episode. So silly me. She's requested that I do that, and so going forward, I will be doing that as opposed to just posting a link to my blog, which makes it difficult to actually find the show notes for a specific episode. So there you go. So thank you, Cheersky, for bringing that to my attention, and I hope that makes it a lot easier for everybody to find patterns and links and whatnot that I mention in each episode. So yeah, so that's show notes. Let's talk about what's on my needles. Yeah, so as you know, I've been working on the Even Star shawl, and I'm on chart 3. And as I mentioned, it's very slow going because I'm working with 560 stitches per row. Yeah, it's that scary. But yeah, here you go. This is how far I've gotten. So as you can see, okay, so here's where chart 3 begins, and then there's the lace bit that I have to knit. So before, what the chart calls for with this bit right here is I have to repeat these 4 rows about like 3 or 4 times. I did not realize that until like I read the directions back. So yeah, I'm in for a treat. So yeah, this will have to be repeated 3 or 4 times. Exciting, can't wait. So yeah, very slow going, but as you can see, I've made significant progress, and the more and more this grows, the more and more I can't stop working on it because it's just absolutely beautiful. And the pattern, oh my gosh, the pattern is so well written. I mean, I believe it's like 13 pages long, the entire pattern. Scary, but it's so well written out. Susan Pandorf did an amazing job just writing it and color coordinating everything, making it super easy to follow. So if you are up for the challenge, I highly recommend it. Except if you're like a newbie lace knitter, don't do what I do. Work with a lifeline. I am still working without a lifeline, and I'm asking for trouble right now, I think. But yeah, I mean, I'm loving this. And again, this is Knit Picks. I guess you can see it. This is Knit Picks in their gloss lace weight in the sterling colorway. And again, it's like it's a solid, very cool light gray. very beautiful, which really brings out the definition of the stitches, which I love. So, yeah, even star, slow as she goes, or steady as she goes, as I say. I don't know. Whoops, sorry, I dropped the microphone. What else? My Fa 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 socks by Lois Leong. I finished a sock. Yay, good times. So yeah, one sock done, one more to go. I am actually this far into the second sock. I started it a week and a half ago maybe, and I put a dent in it early this morning while watching the news. Gotta be informed, people. Yeah, so we have 2 inches ribbing and about maybe 2 cable-y thingies. And again, I'm using a cable needle to knit this because generally I don't need to use a cable needle when knitting cables, but for some reason I'm finding this cable in particular a little tricky. I mean, as simple as it looks, it's very, very simple. You can see it better on here, but as you can see, it's just a very simple, twisty, cable-y, staggered effect. Very beautiful. So yeah, you might need a cable needle for it. If you're advanced, more power to you. The only gripe I have about this pattern, on my part per se, is they're a little snug around my leg. The pattern called to either cast on 64 stitches or 72 stitches, I believe. And generally when I cast on a pair of socks, I go for 64 stitches on a US 1, which fits me like a gem, so I don't complain there. But for these, because it's cable, it's a little bit more snug around my leg, and I wish I could cast on 72 stitches. Don't quote me on the 72, but yeah, I wish I cast on a little bit. I wish I cast on the size up because it is a little snug around my leg. But they fit, so I'm not complaining. And again, sorry, I keep dropping the mic. Let me situate it here. Okay. And again, this yarn is Blue Moon Fiber Arts Socks That Rock Lightweight in their Everyday Gray colorway, which is, again, like a lovely semi-solid icy gray. So I'm really digging the grays these days. I don't know. Fall is nigh? Who knows? So yeah, Fa 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 socks. One down, one to go. And I have been bitten by the startitis bug, I'm afraid to say, which can be good. I'm not, you know, ranting on the startitis, but yeah. So as you know, I've had my eye on the Henslow shawl pattern by Beth Kling for the longest time. I've just been up in arms about which yarn to use per se, because either the yarn that I wanted to use didn't have enough yardage, or I was just not digging the colors. I wasn't feeling it, but I cast on a Henslow shawl last week, and I am loving it. I'm loving it. So, I mean, I'm saying that now because it's super easy. You just cast on and you know, basically just knit miles and miles of garter stitch until you get to the edging, and you bind off, and then you cast on for a Shetland inspired lace edging, which I think is going to go like maybe from here to here. It's going to be all like really pretty lace. And it's a crescent shape. I'm sorry, I did not finish the row. Silly me didn't finish the row, so I can't really exactly show it to you, but it's a crescent shape. And I'm using a hand-dyed yarn by, it's called Cakewalk. Look how lovely. How lovely is that? It's amazing, right? And the colorway is called Rhinebeck. How cool is that? So you can see it's like lovely muted pinks, grays, browns, and pops of teal and yellow. And what I love about Cakewalk Yarns, I'm so sorry, I'm blanking on her name, but I will post a link. She's amazing. I actually interviewed her on my other blog, knitnook.net. She creates the most gorgeous skeins ever. And here is her logo. It's called Cakewalk Yarns. Yep. Can it focus? Delicious hand-dyed yarn treats. And it is her stash line, which is a fingering weight. You get 430 yards at 100 grams, and you get 80% merino, 10% cashmere, And, I'm sorry, I'm blocking it, 10% nylon. And yes, I said cashmere, and yes, you read right. So this is very, 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 very soft. It's just so fun to knit with, and I just want to hug it all day. It's so soft and squishy. So if you're watching, thank you. This yarn is beautiful, and I highly recommend you check out our Etsy shop. Let me see. I will, of course, post a link to it, as I mentioned, but it's etsy.com/shop/cakewalk yarns, and check her out. And what I love about her yarns is that, as I mentioned, they're speckled, which I'm blanking on the other yarn that does speckling, but it's a little bit out of my price range, and you don't get enough yardage for what you pay for, I feel like. But her yarns, you get a whole lot of yardage, and it's hand dyed. You can't go, hand dyed is the best in my opinion. It's just, I love hand dyed yarns. So as for what's off my needles, as you know, I love the Round the Twist podcast, and Karen, the host, she is getting married, I think in November. So if you haven't watched the podcast, I highly recommend you do. It is so fun to watch. I mean, she's the reason why I decided to give her and K-Star, I have to give credit to, who got me into trying video podcasting, and they are fun. But anyway, Karen's getting married, and she wants the whole thing to be handmade, and she actually, she put it out there very politely, and she asked, requested that her viewers knit tiny little cupcakes to give away as party favors for their wedding, and I thought that was brilliant. And not for nothing, I am a podcaster, and I do watch and listen to a lot of other podcasts, but I am a self-professed lurker, meaning that while I would love to comment, like join the conversation in threads and Twitter, I know I miss out on a lot, and I would love to just be able to partake in that, but there just aren't enough time. There aren't enough hours in the day for me to actually engage in all these things, which I'm kicking myself for. So I just kind of lurk. I watch and I try to leave comments sometimes. Sometimes I don't get around to it, but when she asked, people to contribute cupcakes and everything, I was like, yes, there's a way I can give back. There's a way I can show that I care, that I like your podcast. So yay, excited that I could actually contribute to that. And so yes, I knit some cupcakes. If I can find them. They've gone missing, it seems. Where'd they go? I'm sitting on the sofa, guys. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh, the cupcakes, they disappeared. Where'd they go? Cupcakes? Oh my gosh, they... Hello? I am so sorry, guys. Karen, I have your cupcakes. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. They were hiding in my even star shawl. Because when you knit a circular shawl, they just kind of, it kind of turns into a bag. Well, apparently they were hiding in there. Go figure. Okay, Karen, your cupcakes, they're safe. Let's see. Okay, first up, we have, let me just show them all to you. Okay. I knit 3 cupcakes because I just love the color combination of these two. I just said, all right, I'm making 3 cupcakes in these colors. So here they are. Very excited. Yay. Okay, so let me explain. This first cupcake, if you can see it, I actually used the Dalek. It's a free cupcake pattern created by one of Karen's viewers. There you go. Whips Insanity created this free Dalek pattern based on a Doctor Who character. If you don't know who that is, go watch Doctor Who. We're all fans. You should too. You should be too. And I just kind of modified the pattern to give the frosting a picot edge as opposed to just a plain solid edge. And for the cupcake, the cake part, I use coincidentally Cakewalk yarns in her clove colorway, which is a lovely cinnamony gingerbread color. with like pops of green and red, and it kind of it looks like fruitcake a little bit, but it reminded me of cake immediately, like when I saw it sitting in my stash. So I had to use it as the cake portion. And then the top part is Araucania yarn that I purchased in uh, um, where did I go? When I was in California in God, I'm sorry, the NyQuil is talking. I can't remember stuff. San Francisco. I went to San Francisco and purchased Araucania yarn at Imagine It, which Jasmine from the Knitmore Girls recommended that I go visit. Sorry, probably tired of staring at the cupcake now. Take it away. But yeah, I used those to knit a pair of vanilla socks. And this one, same cakewalk yarns, and the top part is Knit Picks palette in, I believe, seafoam or sage, green sage or something, which I used as, it's a little fuzzy, for my Stephen West shawl, the Daybreak, which I knit. So that's leftover yarn from that, and I'm sorry, I'm going to blind you with this one again. More neon. This is from my Brooklet shawl, the top part, and this is Madeline Tosh Edison bulb. So let's see if this camera does a better job. There we go. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Neon. So yeah, adorable, right? I could knit like a million more of these. I didn't realize how fun these are to knit. Dennis thought I was off my cracker when he saw me knitting them. He's like, why did you knit those? I'm like, I had to. It's for a good cause. People getting married, they need their cupcakes. Ugh, duh. So, yeah. So cupcakes, yeah. And I knit another one of these, and my cat got a hold of it, and she loves them. She's sleeping over there. She's a lazy host, slacker. Anyway, lazy co-host, I should say. Yeah, whatever. Anyway. So yeah, I think I want to knit her a bunch more of these. I mean, she just kicks it around like a little football, which I think is hilarious. So maybe I'll knit her a couple more of these filled with catnip. So yeah, cupcakes. They make excellent wedding favors, great cat toys, and yeah, maybe some Christmas ornaments come the holidays. Yay, excited. And my friends are probably going to get a whole bunch of these, and they're my non-knitting friends, and they're going to think I'm off my cracker too. But hey. So lucky to have a knitter friend they are. Anyway, that's pretty much what's off my needles at the moment. Maybe, who knows, next week I will have a Henslow shawl to show you, or a sock, or some more progress on my Even Star. Go figure. Excuse me, soda break. Excuse me. Next up, I have a book review to tell you about. As I mentioned last week, Cooperative Press gave me a whole bunch of knitting books to review. Thank you guys. So full disclosure, these were all sent to me by Cooperative Press, and I'm very excited to review them for you and them. And I'm sorry if the camera's shaking, but I have all my show notes over here. Yeah, and the book that I'm reviewing this week is called Ancient Egypt in Lace and Color by Anna Dalvey. And to give you an idea of what this book is about, as the name suggests, it's a book full of, it has 12 patterns, which are all inspired by the colors used in ancient Egyptian art, which were green, red, white, black, yellow, and blue. And as you probably can guess, all the shawls featured in this book are done in those colors. And what I liked about the book, I love that you get a whole like brief and pithy, to the point, historical, like crash course in, not crash course, but I mean you get a really cool history lesson. Basically, it tells you about the colors, why the Egyptians used them, what they meant. It's just very, very interesting. I mean, it doesn't get too much in depth, which is, if you're not too interested in the subject, you don't have to worry about it, but it's enough to give you an idea, which I love. I'm sure there are plenty more books out there about ancient Egyptian art which get more in depth. If you're interested, by all means, check it out. But yeah, the book for the most part is just lovely. I have to say, I went and knit almost all the patterns in this book, and most of them, I mean, they're all lace, which I love, and many of them remind me of like Nancy Bush patterns, Kirsten Kapoor, Rosemary Hill. I mean, they're not, obviously they're not by these designers, but a lot of the patterns remind me of their styles, which is great. So definitely worth checking out. And the photos, I have to say, are gorgeous. I mean, not overdone. They're just simple against a gray background. Um, and another great part is, instead of showing a graphical schematic of the actual pattern, they shoot an aerial version of the shawl, like on the floor, spread out. So you get an idea of what the shawl is exactly supposed to look like, which I love. You can actually get the full idea from a schematic. It's just very mathematical and straight edged. It doesn't actually show you what what the finished product is gonna look like. So this is great. And one thing that I really enjoy about cooperative press books is that it seems like they have something for everybody, no matter what your skill level is, or what level you are as a knitter. So if you're just getting into lace knitting, there are some there are patterns that are fairly good for beginners, and if you are an experienced knitter, there are some great patterns in there for you as well. So yeah, I have no qualms about this book whatsoever. Like I said, I practically want to knit every single pattern in this book. That said, you should definitely check it out if you are into lace knitting. And the book is called Ancient Egypt in Lace and Color by Anna Dalvey. And you can purchase a PDF version via Ravelry or cooperativepress.com for $16.95 US. Or if you prefer a print version, that goes for $26.95 US as well. And if you buy the print version, you will also receive a digital copy in your inbox, I suppose. So yeah, that's it. Go check it out. It's a great book, and that's the review. So yeah. Also, what I wanted to talk about are some patterns that I absolutely have been smitten with these past few weeks. If you know Sweatshop of Love, Allison, I'm not going to say her last name because I know I'm going to butcher it. I should probably ask her how to pronounce it, but I'm just going to call her Allison D, who owns Sweatshop of Love. She's such a talented knitwear designer. She creates the cutest stuff, and I actually also interviewed her on knitnook.net, which, by the way, is on a slight hiatus. I'm trying to find the time to update it and stuff like that, but anyway, I digress. Allison just came out with a compilation of knitting patterns from up-and-coming designers called Hala Knits. If you have not heard of it, check it out. I will post a link. But yeah, lots of cute patterns that I'm dying to cast on. And one of them is the New Girl skirt, which if you have not seen this, oh my gosh, check it out. It's adorable. It's like a very boho, like bohemian. It's just like, it has like a traditional Fair Isle look to it. Like the skirt at the top is very solid, and then at the bottom there's a strip of contrasting color, and then below that you have like almost like a smocked seated stitch combining both main and contrasting colors. Very cute. I'll hopefully show you a photo of it. So I want to cast that on immediately, and it just so happens I have the same, I don't know how this happened, but like I have the same exact colorways in the Yarn Fortress. That right there is my Yarn Fortress, as I lovingly call it. I think it's Cobblestone Heather and Everglade Green in Knit Picks Worsted Wool of the Andes. I could cast it on right now, actually. Don't tempt me. Anyway, so yeah, that's one. And then I knit, one of the contributors to the pattern book, I Knit To Purl To, was so kind as to send me a copy of her pattern, which is the Devon sweater cardigan. Very lovely pattern. I love it. Thank you so much. That was so nice of you, and I literally cannot wait to cast that on as well. I just have to, I'm on a rule, like I can't cast on another cardigan until I'm done with Pomme de Pin. I have a thing with cardigans. I can't finish them, but I will. And I want to cast this on immediately as well because I love, anyway. But yeah, thank you so much for sending me that. Her cardigan is just like, if I had to describe it, it's just a simple dropped sleeve cardigan, but then it has stripes. But those stripes are actually made up of like feather and fan lace. So you have like these little strips of feather and fan going throughout the pattern, and it's brilliant, and I love it. And My only gripe, I think, when I knit this, I'm actually gonna. I'm not a huge fan of. I'll be honest. I'm not a huge fan of feather and fan lace. So I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to swap out that lace pattern for another lace pattern, but keep the pattern the same. So, I mean, the rest of the pattern the same. I'm not gonna change anything about it, but slight modification. But yeah, I'm really excited about it because I have some colors, some color ideas stored up in there. So yeah, definitely check out Holland Knits. There's so many other cute patterns in there. Like she's got like a romper, like romper shorts that are all cable knit and everything. Brilliant stuff. I won't get too much into it because I'm running out of time. But check it out. Yeah. That said, uh, that's the show. Thank you so much for tuning in. My lovely sleepy co-host says thank you as well. And as always, I will post show notes, as I mentioned, on my blog, voolenvine.com. Say hello to me on Twitter or Ravelry. I'm Voolenvine on there as well. And that said, have a great week, everybody. Great weekend, and I will see you next time. Happy knitting. Bye.